like a tomate. Hey, hey, Blakberry talk. Yeah, we up, no, we locked in. ATL, we run the game, check the top 10. Swinging, Hawks fly, Falcons run it back. Every play, every take, yeah, we speaking facts. City behind me, we never gon' fall off. Talking that smoke, got to play like a call off. Falcons in motion, they running that route. Austin transition, we running them out. Brains in the post, yeah, they swinging for real. If you ain't tapped in, then you miss a field. Blakberry got them tuned in on the daily. Everything real, we ain't talking fugazi. Numbers on live, check stats, it's amazing. We callin' plays like we work for the Navy. Blakberry talk, yeah, we up, no, we locked in. ATL, we run the game, check the top 10. Swinging, Hawks fly, Falcons run it back. Every play, every take, yeah, we speaking facts. Like, I've been on top of the wave. We talk sports like a part of the game. Know what I'm saying? I ain't gotta explain. I'm in the booth and I'm calling the plays. Never no bias, we talking about wins. Blakberry popping, they tuning again. Straight from the A, so you know what it is. If it's a tape, let me stand on it big. Falcons need rings, we know that it's coming. Hawks on the rise, you know how they grilling. Brace in the home, we copping the bottles. ATL up, yeah, we eating the column. Blakberry talk, yeah, we up, yo, we locked in. ATL, we run the game, check the top 10. Brave swinging, Hawks fly, Falcons run it back. Every play, every take, yeah, we speaking facts.
Star slip bought the South. Watch the phone, Mercedes Benz lit. This the Falcons strong. You they kings back to back like a boss 7. Try to run it, but the dog's too strong. Hard hitting bars like a Grady blitz. Every fact straight fire, every line gon' hit. ATL made me this city's my heart. Step up, talk sports to get torn apart. Home team.
What's happening, home team?
Home team.
I don't know about you, but it's a Monday, it's a Tuesday morning, and I'm feeling great.
Fans got that chop to the chip with a flex. Hawks in the cut, ice cold like a tag. A-Town legend, I debate with the best. Come week with the text, get laid to rest. Home team.
Is the NBA boring as hell? Is it?
Home team.
Why is the NBA not as viewable as it used to be? Is it because of culture change? Is it because the players are soft? Is it because the league is soft? Is it because we got a soft-ass fucking society? We're gonna talk about it.
Home team.
We're gonna talk about it. And then we're gonna talk about whether or not them birds.
Don't speak about the cell, what you tone. Mercedes Benz lit, this the Falcons throne. You gay games, bet the bad like a boss.
We gonna talk about that first.
But the dog's too strong. Hard hitting bars like a Grady blitz. Every fast straight fire, every line gon' hit. ATM made me, this city's my heart.
Yeah.
Step up, talk sports, so you're torn apart. Whole team.
And we gon' drop the motherfucking link. Yes, sir. Welcome to another Fan Speak. Thank you for coming through. If you're tuning in after the fact, I ask that you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Hit the notification bell so that you can know when we drop content. We drop content throughout the week, and we give you the hot fire. What we're talking about today is whether or not the NBA has gotten so boring that where NBA fans, even NBA players, are fed up with the bullshit. Is it a league problem? Is it a player's problem? Is it a league and players problem? It could be a fan league and players problem. We're going to talk about it, and I'm going to drop the link so that y'all can get y'all 2 cents. But first, we're going to have a discussion on these Atlanta Falcons, my Atlanta Falcons, your Atlanta Falcons, the home team, and whether or not Raheem Morris is being treated unfairly by the fan base. A lot of fingers are being pointed at Raheem Morris. 2024, a lot of fans didn't even expect much out of 2024 under Raheem Morris. A lot of fans didn't expect for the Atlanta Falcons to do anything in the first year under Raheem Morris with a new quarterback, with a new offensive coordinator, with a new defensive coordinator, with a new head coach. So many new pieces on the board. No, a lot of people didn't expect much out of the 2024 season. So why is Raheem Morris being so heavily blamed for the shortcomings, if they were shortcomings, of the Atlanta Falcons in 2024? Before I drop the link, your boy Blakberry is going to talk about it. We're going to give our 2 cents about it right here. And I'm going to drop the link so we can discuss it. But first, I'm going to give you my shake on it. In 2024, pre-draft, the Atlanta Falcons made a move to acquire Kirk Cousins from the Minnesota Vikings. In doing so, or was he a free agent? No, he was a free agent. Was it free? Yes, he was a free agent. Sorry. He was a free agent. They guaranteed him $100 million. The Atlanta Falcons did. This was pre-draft. So this was before the Falcons would draft now starting quarterback. At least that's what's being reported, and that's what's being perceived, is that Michael Penix Jr. from Washington. And with some small sample size, we've been able to see that Michael Penix Jr. is capable of being a starter in this league. Not only a starter, but he might actually end up being an impact player at the quarterback position, which is what you look for when you're talking about having a sustainable winning franchise in the NFL. You got to have a quarterback that could at least carry not only his own weight, but carry the weight of the team at times when need be. We think we may have that in a Michael Penix Jr. But pre-draft, there was a Kirk Cousins deal in 2024. And a lot of people, including myself, was on the record at the time of that. Oh, Lord have mercy, that's a goddamn wagon going through here. Looked like it was built in 1965, and it sounded like a piece of shit. Can you please go park that motherfucker? Thank you. I digress. Kirk Cousins was not a good signing. I didn't think so at the time. A lot of fans didn't think so at the time. Hell, I'm willing to bet a lot of executives in the Falcons organization didn't think so at the time. And it for a little while throughout the 2024 season, we had hope that, okay, maybe it was a good idea. We were 6-3. Kirk Cousins was having baller games, 300-yard games, 500-yard games, and we were looking like we were clicking on most cylinders. But something happened. Something that a lot of us, including myself, feared would happen for a 12-year vet who is statuesque. Anyway, you ready for me? 19? Yeah. Okay, y'all hold on 1 minute. My phone home team. Should have edited. To do the editing. When it's time to do the editing, I'll be sure to edit that out. Oh. Anyway, back to what we were discussing. The matter at hand. Kirk Cousins for the first quarter of the 2024 season gave us a lot of hope. Because we were 6-3, he was balling, 300-yard game, 500-yard game, game-winning touchdowns, making clutch plays on the road in Philadelphia on primetime television, showing the world that maybe Kirk Cousins still got a lot left in the tank. Even had players like Drake London looking like, wow, this is what I get. This is what I get when blessed with a conquerable quarterback, with a quarterback that's actually capable of conquering a game, conquering a football team. Is this what I get? Drake London was so surprised. Couldn't blame him. Couldn't blame one bit. Even myself was asking the question, wow, do we finally have a quarterback that can deliver when we need him to? Do we finally have a quarterback post Matt Ryan that we can count on to make the right throws at the right time? And I was even looking at Drake London like, do we finally have a wide receiver who, when he gets the right throw at the right time, post Julio Jones, that's going to make the play that we need made? He's going to make that catch. Well, it for sure looked like it in that second game of 2024 against the Philadelphia Eagles on the road. And what a lot of people say was a gifted win to the Falcons because Saquon Barkley dropped the ball on I want to say he did what's the name of that damn route? When the back come out the backfield and he swing upfield. It ain't a swing. What it called? Is it a hook? Is it a Somebody tell me what's the name of that damn play, that the name of that route that Saquon dropped that ball on in that game. But a lot of people are saying, it's on the tip of my tongue, can't get it out. A lot of people say we was gifted that win. I can't argue. But when you're gifted something, you have to accept it. Otherwise, it's not a gift at all. We accepted said gift, and we drove the ball down the field, got ourselves in a position to I believe it was a game-winning field goal. We won that game with on Cool's leg, and we was all, oh man, me, my brother, and my dad, we going crazy. We like, do we finally have a quarterback that can make the plays we need him to make? It was a Kirk Cousins show. And then after 6-3 in week 10, something happened. What a lot of us feared would happen. He got his block knocked off in the second game versus the New Orleans Swamp Skanks. He got his block knocked off. He got his bell rung. Statuesque. 12 years in the game. Coming off a torn Achilles. If you're familiar with playing sports, if you're familiar with how injuries work, a lot of the times injuries occur after another injury has occurred. It's the body's way of letting you know that it's overcompensating in an area for something else. And when it comes down to football, especially because it's the most contact sport there is, probably outside of rugby. No, yeah, probably outside of rugby. It's probably 50-50. But when you're talking about the mechanics and you're talking about the fundamentals and making sure that you do the correct dropbacks, making sure you have proper technique in your throwing motion, all of that good stuff for a quarterback, you may start to overcompensate when you don't have the power in the step back from planting your foot from the torn Achilles that you would usually have. And a lot of times that results into you doing things uncharacteristically with your throwing motion. And what I believe happened when he got his ball knocked off, I believe he was a bit too slow on reacting, like he was showing signs of all season, and he got his block knocked off. A lot of people might say, well, Blakberry, he was going to get his ass tattooed anyway because of a missed blocking assignment on the offensive line by Caleb McGarry. You might be right. Caleb McGarry somebody steps on Caleb McGarry's foot. Caleb McGarry misses a block and whack it. He get his goddamn block knocked off Kirk Cousins. But if he gets that ball out faster, maybe he can evade that hit. Or maybe he can protect himself better and not get his damn clock clean. Regardless of the fact, he got his ass shellacked in that second game of versus the New Orleans Swamp Skanks. And the rest is history. So, a lot of the controversial takes amongst the fan base have been the collapse in the season record could have been avoided as long as Raheem Morris would have done a better job making the decision to sit to sit Kirk Cousins after he looked abysmal for 5 straight games. A lot of people saying it shouldn't have took 5 games. It shouldn't have took 5 games for him to pull the pull the trigger on putting in Michael Penix Jr. A lot of people are saying Raheem Morris should have did it after that 3rd loss. Some are even going as far as to say he should have did it after the 2nd loss. Because it was 2 games, 6 interceptions, no touchdowns. Then it became 3 games, 8 interceptions, no touchdowns. Then it became 4 games, 9 interceptions, no touchdowns. And it was getting ugly. The blame has to go somewhere. Now, let's speed things up to the offseason. Our partner, Kirk Cousins, he wants us all to believe that he lied. That he didn't, not, well, yeah, he lied, yeah. He don't want us to believe he lied, but he lied about being injured in that Saints game. He never told anybody about the injury, including Raheem Morris. A lot of the fan base and a lot of the media fairly are saying it shouldn't have mattered that Kirk Cousins lied about being injured. Your head coach is supposed to be on top of that. He should see that something is right with his quarterback, and he should adjust accordingly. I'm here to tell you right now, I agree with that wholeheartedly. Never have debated that, and I won't start today. But what I will say is I'm going to camera now that I ain't got to incriminate myself. Now I'm not incriminating myself. I can go on camera. So, let's get this turned off. With that being said, I'm not going to start making an argument for Raheem Moore's punk ass today that you're wrong in saying that he should have pulled the trigger sooner on Michael Penn for Michael Penix Jr. I will not make that argument today. But I am going to ask the question, are we being unfair to Raheem Morris for the 2024 debacle? Are we holding him way too much accountable for the shortcomings? And y'all forgive me if I look like I'm sweating, because I am sweating. But if the shortcomings of the 2024 season of the Atlanta Falcons, I'm finna drop the link. Invite. Finna drop the link. Y'all hit that link. And after this conversation, somewhere down the line, we'll discuss how boring the damn NBA has got. I'm gonna tell y'all something like this though. I'm gonna tell y'all like this when it comes to this Raheem Morris topic. I'm not saying what side I'm on to this at all, but I think it's a necessary question to ask. I think this question is necessary before I bring in King Richie. I think this is a necessary question to ask. If you didn't expect much out of the 2024 season anyway, why is Raheem Morris being shunned so heavily? If anyway, you didn't expect much out of the 2024 season anyway. Because majority of the fan base, of the media, majority of us were saying first year head coach, two coordinators who is their first year being coordinators and calling plays. That was a thing. Torn Achilles, coming off a torn Achilles, statuesque 12-year veteran quarterback. And a lot of other new pieces on the board. A lot of us wasn't expecting much anyway. A lot of people were saying, well, we still got an edge issue. We still got a pass rush issue going into 2024. We didn't address that. A lot of question marks on the 2024 season. A lot of people not expecting much. So why is Raheem Morris being so heavily shunned amongst the fan base? I got guys waiting in the back ready to come in and give y'all their takes. But let me see who in the building. Before we do that, we got Prince Kel 89 in the house. What's up with your Prince Kel 89? What's up with your Prince Kel? We got Michael in the building. What's up with you, Michael? We got Deshaun Coswell in the building. He's like, yeek, get some. That's old school. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Don't try to know nothing about that. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Jay Holland. Yo, Shalamak. What's going on with you, Jay Holland? Reality speaker. He says hi in his own way. Or her own way. What's up with your reality speaker? What's going on? See, reality speaker says, send link. I want to join. It's in there, man. It's in there. I'm going to pin it in a minute. We got Larry in the house. It's just Larry. That's it. Nothing else. Just Larry. And I see how everybody want to start taking my shit, Larry. You see how everybody take my shit, Larry? Larry, you see how everybody take your butt shit? They take my shit and pretend like it wasn't my shit when it was my shit. And they know who I'm talking about, too. They know who I'm talking about. They want people taking my shit, man. Nigga taking this shit. Who this is? Reality speaker say, nigga, check the car. Well, you boy. You a saucy talker. We got Georgia, Texas boy in the house. He say Blakberry, FN, and Falcon family, the new areas here, the Atlanta Falcons will rise in 2025. I believe it. Georgia, Texas boy. I believe it. I believe it. We got King Richie in the house. What's up with you, King Richie? What's going on? All right. We got Liquor with Lenore in the house. What's up with you, Liquor with Lenore? Liquor with Lenore. We got D. Sloan in the building. What's up with you, D. Sloan? All right. Now let's see who we got. So somebody, we got King Richie and how they bring King Richie, Deshaun Caldwell, and Jay Holland, the usual suspects as I call them. What's going on, fellas?
What's
What's
going
going
on?
on, home
How y'all,
team?
how y'all doing? How y'all doing?
What's happening?
What's up?
What the hell that reality speaker motherfucker is? He talking about read the chat. Nigga, you don't tell me when to drop
Oh,
my
bro.
goddamn link and read my chat, motherfucker. And now he ain't here. What's going on, man?
Man, honestly, I'm gonna tell you
What up,
what
Larry?
really. I'm gonna tell you what I feel like really happened with the question that you asked. What happened
Okay.
was Raheem outperformed what everybody thought we were gonna do in 2024. That was where the problem came in once we were 6-3. Even though the first game was rough, but we expected that. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So since we didn't expect it to be that bad, but at least Pittsburgh didn't score a touchdown on us. They scored nothing but field goals. So at
Right.
that point, Jimmy Lake didn't look bad because remember the first 6 games, the defense really saved us. So
Yeah.
we didn't really know. We thought that okay,
Let's have
well
a seat.
Jimmy Lake he may be okay. The verdict was still on him, but it's like okay, well the defense did save us the first 6. Because if you really look at it. Raheem get too much criticism to me, but he still made bad decisions, so that criticism is warranted. But if you really look at it, he actually did everything he said we were gonna do. We didn't believe we were gonna do it. Think about it. We were 6-3. The media already had us as a walk-in first playoff game at home at 6-3. This is what the media saying now. I ain't talking about the fans. I'm talking
Yeah.
about the media had us when we were 6-3. Oh, the Falcons look good now. Shit, they should go on and run through the division. First home game at the house. Raheem exceeded expectations. He did exactly what he said he was gonna do. The problem came when Kirk got hurt. If I feel like if Kirk went on and sat down, right? About 2 games because they didn't even want to play. We went. Truth be told, if Kurt didn't get hurt, we weren't finna see Michael Penix to 2027. They had the whole organization said it.
Thanks.
All the way
Thanks.
down to Arthur Blank said it. We was not finna see Penix to 2027. They wanted him to ride that bench at least 2 years at minimum.
Thanks.
That's why, if you don't remember when Raheem first got here, that after rewatching that interview, I should have knew we were going quarterback because if you go watch that interview when Raheem first got here with Terry, you don't remember what Raheem said. He said, "You don't know what the fuck we gonna do. We may go get a quarterback and draft a quarterback."
Sounds like Terry.
He said
Yeah.
it, but
Yeah.
think about if we didn't see. We get trashed in the media because they want us to stay the bumblefuck football team that they can always pounce on and talk about. That's why this draft we got a D. Everybody know we deserve the A in the media, but they gave us a D because they don't want to see. I've been saying this for years, just like I've been saying with the Hawks. They don't want to see Atlanta sports team get right. They don't because we the talk of everything. Just like I say with the Hawks. You know why I stopped watching basketball? Because the Hawks been needed a big man since 1998 when Dikembe Mutombo left. We never replaced the big man. Never. That's why I
We gon'
stopped. That's why
we
I don't even watch
we gonna talk
basketball
about that
now.
too. We gonna talk. Oh, we gonna talk about that. Yeah, go ahead though. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I was showing you like with the Falcons, it's the same way in the media. When we got the quarterback. Now imagine we had to get a quarterback out this draft. Who y'all really wanted besides a Shador or Cam Ward? Let's just keep it real. Who you really wanted?
Nah, this one a good quarterback class.
So when Kirk got hurt, the fact we got the most pro-ready quarterback out the draft, as far as what offense-wise, scheme-wise, you gotta they sort of seen it. Terry, I get it because it wasn't. People keep thinking it was a Terry and Raheem decision to draft a quarterback. They didn't watch that. They let me know you didn't watch that Arthur Blank interview. Arthur Blank said that was my decision. He said he didn't want to go through another Mariota Ritter. He got tired of going through that. Taylor Heineke, he said he not going through that no more. He said if you watch his interview, he said we're going to get about 3 or 4 quarterbacks.
I want you to repeat that one more time. But
Teddy, repeat that shit one more time, man.
Repeat it one more time for me, Georgia, Texas boy. I mean, my bad, King Richie. Y'all sound like
Arthur Blank said he was not going through the quarterback debacle he went through with Ritter and Taylor Heineke and Mariota. He said we was gonna get 3 or
4. Let me say something right quick. Going to the Raheem thing. Raheem been in the coaching for a long time. He was one of the youngest coaches, came out years ago. My thing about him is he gets stuck and forget where he at. Because like King Richard said that he could have set and you said it too, Blakberry, he could have set Kirk down a long time ago. But the thing that gets me about Raheem, he lies. He come up there to you and tell you what he gonna do, and then if he do it, he's smiling and laughing with you and everything. But if he don't do it, he just like us on the bus. Like that was the offense, that was defense. But you the one that didn't call the timeout. You the one didn't sit Kirk or cool down. You would throw your defensive and offensive coordinator under the bus.
Hey, can y'all hear me now? I ain't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to make sure y'all can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear
you.
Yeah.
I want to chime in on that too, man, when y'all get done.
Yeah. So he to me, I understand some coaches when the game is going on, they don't really get into it with the defensive coordinator or offensive coordinator when the team going on. But that's your team. If you see Kirk fucking up in the game, you go there and tell Zach what's going on, and pull Kirk to the side. You all right, ever? And you can see. I mean, damn, Steve Money can see that Kirk will hurt. Ain't no way in the hell ain't no way in the hell that you couldn't see that Kirk will hurt. You couldn't see Cool will hurt. Ain't no way in the hell you couldn't see he will hurt.
But that 100 million had a lot to do with that. Because if that 100 million, see, in my mind, it's hard for a first year coach to come in and sit down $100 million quarterback. It ain't as easy as we probably think it is. Because when you go to an owner, if I go to Blakberry and Blakberry just spent $100 million, and I be like, look, Blakberry, we might have to sit Kurt down. You like, hell no, we don't. We gonna make sure we get to. That's why they ain't in no rush to trade Kurt. Because they like, we gonna squeeze every penny up out of them.
I don't believe it's about the money because the reason I don't believe that, the way they acted so nonchalant about the money this year. If they really care about the money like last year,
Let's see what Larry got on there. What you got on there, Larry?
Okay, my first take is, I ain't gonna say Raheem a bad coach, but like he ain't really been experienced to let's just say he is a bad coach. Like he came in on what the first team he was with Tampa Bay. He came in on the what, offensive side of the ball, right? If I'm not mistaken, or the defensive side of the ball.
He the head coach.
He
When he with
he
Tampa
coached
Bay, he
offense first. I think he coached receivers first.
right. I think more sort of like our fan base just looking at
I
a
could
dude
be
who,
wrong on that. Somebody can fact check me on that, but I do think it was
Nah,
receivers
he
first.
coached the DBs and special
Okay,
teams
it was
because he didn't
DBs.
do offense
Okay,
till he got here.
till he got to
okay,
Atlanta.
cool,
Right.
okay,
Okay.
cool. So what I'm saying is like our fan base want a coach that's already done been established to say what we done seen him do and what he gonna do. Me personally, I didn't think Raheem was did bad last year. It was more so the way he came in on with the players we had. Let's be honest, that ain't his resume or I mean a regime of the players he want. Shit, so now he getting what he wants. So now we can really say is what he gonna do. What he gonna do
But
this
you
year?
know
I mean,
what, Larry? That's why I asked the question, Larry. Are we being too? Are we unfairly treating him in this situation? Considering that if
yeah,
it was any other first year head coach, regardless of how that season play out, if it's it or regardless of the personnel group, regardless of anything, the manage the staff, whatever, if it's any other head coach, any other time before 2024, we
But,
giving
but,
them
but
that year. We giving them that year to work out kinks and to get players that they want on the team. That
that's
so
what
That's
I.
why. That's
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 why.
why
exactly.
I asked
Go
the
ahead,
question.
Ken Rich. Go ahead.
That's why
Go
I'm
ahead, Ken
telling
Rich.
people
Can I speak
ain't
on
no
it?
way you finna have me hate Raheem and I gave Arthur Smith 3 years. And you got to remember, most of that defense when Raheem came in was still Dean Pease defense. If you wanted Richie Grant and all of them, that were Dean Pease and Arthur Smith picks. That wasn't even Ryan Nielsen picks. He just had to figure out how to work with the defense we had. Cause you remember Dean Pease, the one that they tried to get some of them players for, but they didn't pan out for the type of scheme he run. Now, if you would have put Dean Pease with this defense we just drafted and what we got now, I believe they fit his scheme a whole lot more.
Exactly, bro. That's why we went DB heavy and more sort of attacking D linemen than we went heavy pass rush. Because if you
Because
look at it,
I
bro,
think Jimmy Lake was gonna be the scapegoat anyway. Because I never thought
yeah,
Raheem really wanted Jimmy Lake. I
yeah.
knew he wanted
I didn't think Raheem was a bad coach. I just think he make bad decisions sometimes.
Even through the interview process, fellas, when we were interviewing coaches and shit to be the defensive coach, bro. Out of all them candidates we interviewed, dog, who did y'all really think was gonna come to Atlanta? Obridge. Let's be real, Obridge. We knew this. We knew Obridge was coming, bro, because he done been here before. And just how Arthur Blank want to run this organization. So when we looking at Raheem saying he ain't did shit, how can you do something in 1 year when you barely know half of the players we got on the team at the time? Because it's a new regime of what Arthur Smith wanted and Dan Pease don't want. So yeah, Grady, AJ might be the only 10-year players we done had left that Raheem knew. But outside of all the other guys we had, he ain't with none of them damn players, man.
but I'm
So
gonna
we
be
gonna see.
honest.
Go
Can I
ahead.
speak
Let's see
on
what
it?
When
Jay Holland
Ulbrich,
got on.
okay,
Let's see
go
what
ahead,
let's see
Jay.
what Jay Holland got on. What's up with Jay Holland?
Hold on, fellas. How y'all doing in the morning? How y'all doing?
What's
Ain't no
going
thing.
on, my
Hey,
boy?
don't be incriminating yourself out there down drown.
Hey now, I'm in the Chevy. I'm in the box Chevy. Just worry about that. I'm in the box
Okay.
Chevy. Okay.
Okay.
I'm in the box Chevy, brother. So I ain't saying that Raheem a bad coach, but that nigga make some dumb ass decisions. We done paid Rennie, came back, and our quarterback done threw one touchdown in 5 goddamn games. We don't watch our kicker lip on the field, shanking fucking field goals. They cost us. Yeah, the expectations weren't high, but goddamn, we had a lot of opportunities was given that he fumbled the ball on.
Now on that
He's
tape, Jay
not a
Holland, I
rookie
can't
head
lie.
coach. He's not a rookie head coach. He been in the game long enough. This is Mike Tomlin. Might not been the head coach long, but him and Mike Tomlin came in the game around the same time. So you know what's up. You know what's up.
Yeah, I
So
agree on
he
that. I
deserves some
agree on that.
criticism. He
I
deserved that
agree on
shit.
that. You
Hey,
can't really say that either though, because you got to understand: is he really having the power control over what he want to play on the field
Okay,
and put on the bench?
my thing is, why in the fuck is a chain of command to call a timeout? He said call
Yeah,
a
see, I don't
timeout for
understand
progress.
that either,
That's
bro. I don't
bullshit.
Nah,
understand that either, bro.
that was just something just to keep us off his ass, honestly.
Yeah, okay.
Man, take accountability. That's your dumb ass that call timeout. Take that accountability, folks. Take
You know,
accountability. Huh?
I was gonna say that's why I'm glad Ulbrich here instead of Jimmy Lake, because Ulbrich gonna question stuff like that. I don't think nobody else said nothing about that timeout. I think we was the only one screaming at the TV, screaming call a timeout.
The media was on top of that for that next morning.
That's
Yo,
coaching.
they was on top of that next morning.
Nah,
When
I'm
I
talking about
turned,
while it was happening inside the game. I think we was like, I don't feel like no coaches was screaming to him to call a
oh,
timeout.
you talking about on the sideline, yo? Cause
Yeah, but see,
the commentators, the fans, hell, even damn Washington fans were saying, "Call a timeout."
because you didn't hear the commentator, he said even my daughter was telling him to call a timeout, and she don't even play football.
That's crazy. That's sad.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
sad.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that was a careless mistake though, bro. That was a very careless mistake. So
I,
on that
I don't.
extent,
I'm gonna
I
be.
can't put no
I
credit on
almost
that.
don't really feel like it was a mistake, if you ask me.
Because he
Not
ain't want to
saying
let the
like
defense get set. He ain't want to let the defense get set to be in
Hold
a
on,
better
Mhm.
defense.
why you
he
don't
didn't
think it wasn't? Why you don't think it was a mistake, King Richie?
because he didn't trust Penix. He didn't. He didn't trust Penix with the next play.
Which
Dumb.
says a lot about our coach. If I'm gonna
Yep.
be honest on
Now,
that take.
no. The reason why. No, the reason why I say that because it all leans back. See, a lot of fans didn't really know they playing. Like I keep saying, if you go back and watch that interview, even Arthur Blank said it. We was not gonna see Michael Penix till 2027 at the minimum. So they probably didn't want to put that pressure on the rookie because one thing I can say about Dan Quinn, when it's time to dial up a blitz, he can dial up a blitz. I've seen it in the Super Bowl. So I can't knock his decision on that, but that just let me know he didn't trust the quarterback. Because you don't remember when the interviewer asked Penix, Penix was like, boy, I ain't got nothing to do with that.
But King Richard, they were saying he was doing better than Kirk
The
in
whole
in, in,
preseason
in Texas.
training camp, all that shit, man.
Yeah.
Nah, we know he
And then
was,
and
but
then and then, and
it's
then, and then,
just
and
when
Rossi,
see they put a lot.
Raheem said he was
The reason
already
why
ready.
I say that is because you got to understand that game had playoff implications. So it's like we put a lot on Penix back for real in them last three games. We really did. When
I
you
don't
go
think
back
so.
and sit down and think about it, it's like we asking our rookie to come in here and take us to the playoffs.
I mean, you got drafted 8 overall though, King Rich. What you expect?
Nah, but I mean, I'm talking about from a coaching standpoint. I don't think that Raheem trusted him with that next play call, meaning the
Raheem one say
defensive
he was
play
ready.
call.
Raheem,
Hey,
okay, the
somebody
interview
echoing,
Raheem did
bro.
before the game, he said that Penix was ready. It came
Now
out his
let me
mouth.
ask y'all this. Let me ask y'all this. So recently, Raheem did an interview talking about how that he slept on Penix when we first got him because he didn't know that Penix was that good until he seen these last 3 games. To me, that's a bunch of bullshit, bro. You telling me y'all went to Washington and seen him, even in preseason training camps, OTAs, all that shit, and you still say he
Somebody
wasn't
got an
good in
echo.
your eyes?
Hold on.
Yeah,
Keep talking. I'm gonna do some muting. Keep talking.
all right. But yeah, like I was saying, though, Raheem had an interview saying how, and it was recent, probably like a month and a half or two ago, about that he didn't know Penny was this good into them 3 games. Me personally, I feel like that's a bunch of bullshit, bro. Like you telling me through the whole process you studying and scouting him, you didn't see the talents. You didn't see the talents he had until the last 3 games when you had to put him in. To what now you feel so comfortable that he gonna come in this year and be that top quarterback we need him to be. I felt like we seen that even through the first preseason game Penix played, even through the counts. I seen talent that I can say he could have came in and helped us win some games.
Man, he was. What I'll say is, I believe, I think it's more like 50-50 for me. I sort of believe him and I sort of don't because it's a difference when you got to understand the reason he didn't think so is because Penix never played with the first team at all.
Facts.
So
Yeah,
he
that's true.
really
That's true.
didn't. He never played with the first team. So Raheem, even the players were like, they weren't really watching him at practice because they had to focus on Kirk. If they said that if he wanted to throw the ball around after practice, they'll do it with him. But other than that, he ain't seen nobody on that first team. He never threw him a ball besides maybe some workout after practice. He said it out his own mouth. So when you're dealing with a lefty, you got to catch a lefty with some zip and accuracy. You
But
got to
was he
catch
in
the
sync with the
ball
first team
down.
when he came on the field?
I got a question to that.
So he would. So when he came on the field, he didn't like he was off.
So you don't think it's a good idea to have your backup practice with the first team?
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank
They
you,
ain't
bro.
down no shit.
yeah. AJ, Holly, do me a favor. Go out and come back in. Make sure refresh it when he get to the login part. Refresh it and then come back in.
All right.
You got to echo.
All right.
But nah, you right though, Deshaun Coswell, bro. Like, Raheem made some careless mistakes this season, but I'ma still say this, dog. Dude set us up to win going forward. I don't give a damn what nobody talking about. He set us up to win going forward. This is my opinion though. He set
Who
us up to
set up?
win going forward.
Who set us up to win going forward? Who?
I'm gonna say Raheem and Terry.
Oh, oh,
Nah, I can sort of understand what he dropped out. I think StreamYard in a little bit, but
yeah,
I can sort
extreme
of
yard.
understand what he's saying because what I keep trying to explain to people is that was not a Raheem decision. That was a Arthur Blank decision. Arthur Blank said in his interview he's never going through that quarterback purgatory like he went through for the last 4 years. He said I'm gonna be honest. That interview was how I knew that Taylor Heineke, they were finna trade him anyway. Because Arthur Blank had already said he was very disappointed in all of the quarterback play, every single last one of them.
Well,
Nah, you
So,
right, Mike. You
I
right.
think we all knew Taylor Heineke was up out of there. I think we all knew that.
nah, but I'm just speaking like some fans don't understand that it wasn't a Raheem and Terry decision about Michael Penix. It was an Arthur
Okay,
Blank decision. That's why, if you didn't even know it, that's probably why Raheem didn't know he was that good, because all they did, Arthur Blank wanted to go see Penix. Not Raheem, not Terry. Arthur Blank wanted to go see him. They took Arthur Blank up there to see that backup
Raheem was out
spot.
there with him, right?
No, he was out there with him, but what I'm
yeah,
saying is,
he took a whole staff of people. Now he took a whole staff of
he took
coaches.
a whole stab, but what I'm basically saying is at the end of the day, that was not a Terry or Raheem decision about Michael Penix. That was Arthur Blank.
But
Period.
what about the developing process? I think that's what everybody getting at when they say he should have had Michael Penix set up to be developing more. So in
Thank you.
case of a situation come like he did when you was gonna need him, he at least done got reps with the first team. He at least done been acclimated with how they gonna run the offense with the first team. Now everybody know how scout team works. Scout
Right.
team is gonna give you the looks that the opposing offense is going to give your starting defense. That's what the scout team does. So you can't now this is what I'm saying. You really got to make sure that he don't confuse the two. You can't have him taking reps after he done took scout team reps.
Because
So
he's showing them another playbook.
But
exactly.
Blackberry,
So are you gonna have it where Kirk Cousins sits out of practice?
Because
Are you gonna do that?
you don't remember what Raheem said after that Chiefs game. They had Michael Penix watch Patrick Mahomes film, and after he watched the Patrick Mahomes film, they had him mimic some stuff that Patrick Mahomes does well in a game. So that's how we were so on top of Patrick Mahomes. So if
Right.
he's doing the scout team with,
Damn,
just
we
say,
did that.
yeah, we did that. Yeah, Raheem, that's what Raheem did for the Chiefs game. That's how we was ready for him.
but these last 3 games, did he look out of place?
No, he
He
didn't,
didn't
but
know
I can
that
understand
13.
why Raheem really didn't know until them 3 games because Michael Penix never played out of the playbook from Zach Robinson. That's
So
what I'm
what?
getting to.
So what playbook that the scout team be running? Some shit that the other team gonna do? So
Yeah,
we can
that's
see how
it.
they coming. Okay,
That's
say
all.
that.
Every week the scout team give the team looks. That's it.
That's
But
it.
I mean, catch my answer to that question. When Penix
What's that?
got in the game, the last 3 games, did he
Did
look
he
out
look
of
out of
place?
place?
Hell
A
nah, he
little
look like he
bit,
been
a
He
having
little
real
didn't
bit.
look
split.
out of place.
No, hell nah, fella. He ain't look out of place. He like he
He
been
didn't
running
look
with
out
the
of
first
place.
team goddamn from day one. Let's be honest.
Nah,
The
I
timer
don't
when he
think he
That
look
off.
that
out of place.
that's a
When I
good
say he
point.
did,
That's a good point. That's a good point. Now,
now when I say
that's
he
a good
didn't,
point.
when I say he looked out of place, meaning when that Washington game came on, them first 2 quarters, I
Oh
said,
yeah,
yeah,
they lit
now
his
he looked
ass
like a
up.
rookie.
Oh,
I
they
don't
was
even
letting him
think
hit
that. I
like a
don't think
four
the
guy in that game.
offense. I don't think the offense was ready. That first 3 quarters. Anyway, I don't think the offense was ready.
They weren't used to
Well,
catching balls from him. He
well, let me tell you
left-handed.
something in that Washington game. It's a few things that occurred simultaneously. The first thing that occurred was we was going up against a Dan Quinn led defense, who we know Dan Quinn is damn good at drawing up the first half of a
Right.
defensive strategy. We know he's damn good at doing that. It's the adjustments where we have with him. It was like your adjustments suspect. But we know Dan Quinn was gonna be getting after it in the first half with that defense. The second thing that occurred was you dealing with a rookie quarterback going into a primetime game who before with playoff implications, who before that game was on record for saying that it's just another game. This is just what he do. He just gonna go out there and just do what he do.
He
He was
said that, and they showed him.
and he was arrogant about it, and he got introduced to the NFL officially in that Washington game. But that third thing that occurred was the terrible coaching decisions.
Thank you.
That was the third thing that occurred. And it always gonna go back to the coaching. Why was he if maybe you can argue that maybe if he had been taking some reps with the first team offense, at least give him a half hour out of goddamn practice. Can he get 30 minutes of practice with the first team? Is that a lot to ask?
I'm gonna
Nope.
be honest. With I'm gonna tell you what I. This is just my opinion, which is why I think they didn't allow people at that practice too, because the state, the what's called had been finished. They didn't
Right.
want the complications between Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix. Because just think about it, if all 5 of us on this panel right now had it been at spring camp last year and seen Penix throw that ball, what we were gonna say? Why we got Kirk Cousins?
Yeah.
But like you said, with Arthur Blank being on record for saying that was his decision, it's something that the narrative I want everybody to squash right now is that Arthur Blank don't know shit about football. I want I want
Kevin.
that narrative. You need to dig a hole for that narrative and bury that some bitch, because it's clear to me that he has a vision for what he wants the football team to look like. People keep overlooking this shit. He likes a fast defense. That's what Arthur Blank likes. A fast defense. This defense has went for the fast angle on defense ever since he bought the damn team. We done took a
Nope.
fast approach to the personnel group on the defensive side of the ball. So every time we get all up in armor. We need bigger guys on the line. Well, if you can get a bigger guy that got the first quick step on the inside like Grady Jarrett, if you can get a 6'3" guy that can do that first quick step like him, then you'll get that guy. Until then, it's the guys that's 6'1" that's got that quicker step on the inside.
And
That's
it's
just
funny you say that,
that's what it's been.
Blackberry, because if you listen to Arthur Blank other interview, he's the reason we win defense this year. Because Arthur Blank wanted defense
Yeah, he did
last
say
year. That's
that,
why
bro.
we
He
was
Yeah,
gonna
did
he
say that.
trade
said it.
back up. Arthur Blank know football. That's why I hate when they say that, because Arthur Blank is the reason we tried to trade back up to get Latu Latu. It wasn't Terry. It wasn't Arthur
There
Smith.
you
It
go.
wasn't none of them. It was Arthur Blank. If you don't, in this other interview that he did, that little short snippet of an interview, he said, "Yeah, I need defense." He said it out his own mouth.
He said we going defense the whole 2025 jump.
Yeah,
And then else,
he said it when he did that interview about Kirk Cousins, about them asking about the Kirk Cousins phone call. That's when he said it. He said, "I need defense this year." Now I
but
don't know if I don't remember if he said the whole draft, but put it like this: if I'm worth $1 billion and I say I want defense, what you finna go do?
get some defense.
Thank you.
But he
But
always said
let's say this. Let's say this.
just to blank Kurt
Go
and
ahead. Go ahead.
but he also told everybody that he was disappointed in uh Raheem, and he was disappointed in the team, and he was disappointed in Terry.
I'm gonna be
He said,
honest. I
I
think
think
that
he
was
was really
PR.
directing. Yeah. But I think he was really directing it to Raheem, though, bro. Because if we gonna be honest, bro, Terry have got pieces, dog. Like I don't even see why people keep looking past that part. Bro, Terry has got us some good down show good pieces on this team, bro. The last couple of years since he been here. So I don't really understand why the player development and the coaching is kind of on Terry too. Where it's his seat is high. Cause like I understand we ain't been to the playoffs. I get that guy. But what I'm saying is Terry have brought us shit to be a better team every year, bro. And the coaches have not did their part not now down there year since they've been here. Not Raheem them, but the previous coach before that with
I'm gonna
Arthur
be
Smith.
that's the Falcons' problem. We
nah.
have
I'm gonna
good
be
players, but bad coaching.
nah.
Hey,
I'm gonna be
everybody in that
honest
chat,
though.
hit that share button for me real quick. Hit that
When he
share button.
said
Share
that,
this out to your ex or your Facebook.
when he said that this year, I'm gonna be honest. I really thought it was PR. That was some to please the media. That's how I feel. I don't feel he really just that upset with Terry and Raheem like people think he is.
So you were
Because
lying.
Why?
because you got to understand this all. It's when you dealing with the media, it's more about marketing and it's more about see you if the media keeps saying it and now who in the uproar? The fans, right? So if the fans in the uproar, what I gotta do to calm the situation? Yeah, I'm upset with Terry. Yeah, I'm upset with Raheem. Blah blah blah. Boom.
Lying.
And, and the
In other
reason
words,
why
you
I
saying he
know
lying.
He
the
ain't been
reason
in the
what I'm gonna
playoffs in
tell you what
7
made
years.
me
He
think
should be
about
upset.
that. Now I'm gonna tell you what made me think about that. It was John Abraham that made me think about that in this interview I just watched he did where he said he knew Arthur Blank was a real one when he came in there, sat down, took his coat off, and said, "Team, I fucked up." With Bobby Petrino. He was like, I fucked up. I'm gonna make it up to y'all. So if that's the type of stuff he's saying behind the scenes, that don't mean he went and told the media that. He may have went and told the media, yeah, I'm disappointed in this season. Because you got to think he's trying to appease media and fans because our money matters. He don't want the fans to stop coming to the
Man,
stadium.
we
So
ain't been
a
in the
little bit
playoffs
of
in 7
business is
years.
telling people what they want to hear is lying. It is. I'm telling you
Nah,
now.
I ain't gonna lie. I respect what you saying though, King Rich, but bro, the stadium be packed down there every year we lose.
Yep.
Now I'm gonna be honest. That stadium, that new stadium, ain't been packed nowhere near Georgia Dome status. I'm gonna
Nah.
be
You right
honest.
about that. You right about that. But still, we got some diehard fans in the city, bro. They still gonna come when we got down here blowed out by 40. They
See,
still
that's
coming
the
that Sunday.
reason why he got to say that because most of the diehard fans have been priced out with the PSL. Because I pay a PSL, I know they getting priced out.
You
So
want to know? Let me to speak on that a little bit. You want to know? Okay, let me ask y'all this question. Have you ever been to another game outside of a Falcon game in
yeah,
their hometown?
yeah.
Have you ever? I've been to a Carolina game. I've been to a Pittsburgh game. I've been to a Saints game, and I've been to a Cowboys and a Chiefs game. And I'm gonna tell y'all the difference. I think those fan bases are some pretty good fan bases. I'm gonna tell you the difference between an Atlanta pack game, because I gotta say game, I can't say stadium, and I'm gonna tell you why. The difference between an Atlanta pack game and all those other teams is when tailgating is over, the parking lot is damn near empty. It's only Green Bay, Cleveland, and
Philly won. I know Philly won. I went to one of them
maybe
Philly games.
Philadelphia. maybe Philadelphia. Maybe they the only other teams outside of the Falcons that after the game done started, the damn tailgate's still thick. Tailgate's still thick. But
And you
if
know
you
what?
go
That's the
inside the
problem.
stadium, it's a lot of amenities within the stadium that fans partake in as well.
You know what though, Blackberry? I'm gonna be honest with you. That is part of the problem why the stadium never look forward to, because what we do is me and my sister PSL holders, right? But being that she a AKA, all the fraternity folks do a tailgate who she deal with, her friends. So we always get there like 9, 10 o'clock and help them set up and do the tailgate. Most of them people from the tailgate, they got tickets not even coming in to damn near halftime, honestly. By the time halftime comes, that's when everybody fall in the stadium. Atlanta fans known for showing up late. That's just something they are. They did that at the Georgia Dome. But it wasn't as prevalent because the Georgia Dome didn't have all them amenities that the stadium got. You got a 100-yard
Right.
bar. They just built another lounge in the stadium. Literally for the fans.
They gonna continue to evolve the infrastructure. That's something that they said before the stadium opened up. They're gonna always be evolving the infrastructure. But we gonna transition into some NBA talk, man. Because we coming out the first hour. If you just not tuning in, we just got finished talking whether or not Raheem Morris is being treated unfairly due to the Atlanta Falcons quote unquote shortcomings in 2024. But I want to transition into this NBA conversation because for some reason, my YouTube algorithm this morning, it gave me 2 shorts on the response of NBA players and NBA legends on where the NBA is today compared to back in the day when, of course, everybody say it was, well, as we know, not just what we say, but it was a more physical era. It was a more entertaining era to a lot of people because of the physicality, because of the legitimate beefs that players had with one another and teams had with one another that really didn't like each other. It made the competition more exciting to watch. And it was more score driven. It was more I'm gonna say it was more who gonna stop who type driven rather than who gonna outscore who type driven league, if that make any sense to anybody.
That's why
So
they said Michael Jordan would get 50 in this league right here because they don't really play defense.
because don't nobody play defense. So y'all tell me, has the NBA got, because I've been watching, so other outside of that Houston Golden State series, outside of that series, rest of these damn series been kind of goddamn vanilla. I ain't been interested in watching none of this shit. The
Nah, I
the
ain't gonna
the,
lie, me.
It's boring.
the Indiana Pacers was mopping the fucking floor with the Cleveland Cavaliers the other night, and it was really just a bunch of fucking jump shots.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, it was a bunch of fucking threes being shot, and Cleveland going down there and bricking because they shooting threes and missing. Just so happened Indiana shooting threes and making. It. Who wants to watch that shit? So y'all tell me, is the NBA gotten boring?
Yes, it's
It
boring as
have
hell.
It get boring, bro. Yeah, bro.
it done got boring because they trying to do it like how the NFL doing with defense, where they want high scoring games. So basketball, to me, basketball and football is similar when it comes to defense. Like you can't handcuff a defense and then get mad that they can't play defense. That
Right.
makes sense, what I'm saying. Because I'm gonna tell you, well, my truthful reason for not watching basketball is because the Hawks ain't did the one thing I've been wanting to do since Dikembe Mutombo, and that's get a big. They always what they try to do is get them wings and turn them into bigs instead of getting a true big. And it irritates me because this team has only been lacking one thing. Even when Coach Bud was the coach, the only thing we were missing in the ECF was the fact we didn't have a true big. The post up in that paint, they kept trying to use wings and guards as bigs.
But that's most of the league now. Even the bigs not even playing big.
Yeah, I feel like Joe is the only one really that still play the inside game, honestly. But it's like I was looking at the game the other night, bro. I know I ain't tripping. I don't be on that conspiracy theory shit, but I'm very knowledgeable in countries of some shit. You can't tell me, bro. They ain't telling these dudes to play a certain style when they play certain teams. Cause all of a sudden now, Jokic, they can't make a damn layup at the goal. And then the last series, you down there dominating in the paint. This series, you can't make nothing in the paint no more.
Well, players gonna have off nights, but it's for me. It's like Wemby humble. Like Wemby, don't get me wrong, hell of a talent, but he prefers to shoot from behind the arc. Now
But
I know
even
I get it. He a damn stick figure for a goddamn 7-footer. He a stick figure. He ain't banging with nobody. But it's the point that you're 7+ feet tall. We should be able to give you the ball at the point of not at the point of the key, but somebody should be able to stand at the point of the key, give you the damn ball down low, and you should be able to hook shot a motherfucker up in there.
They
Something.
all like that. Blackberry, Wemby, Carl Anthony Towns,
All
and
of them
Hey
like
D.
that.
Don't nobody play big no more. They
Now
all want to be a stretch
Carl
four.
Anthony Towns,
he'll get physical.
I give him some grace because he will get down there and bang. I give
This
him some
year,
grace.
with the Knicks. Prior years, once Carl Anthony Towns won that 3-point contest, I'd be damned if I grab a rebound. I'm shooting that hope.
But I think part of the problem is too is that if you remember when now I will say because for one I don't watch basketball because they play way too many games for me. But when the playoffs come, I do watch, and I think one of the problems is it's no shutout games no more. Meaning they want every game to go 10-7 series, every single last one of them. I heard someone on the radio yesterday, one of them people on the radio, the lady was like, please let the Cavaliers game go to 7 games. I'm like, why? If they shut them out, they shut them out. It is what it is. In the era that we watch
Yeah,
basketball, if we defeat you in 4-5 games, it is what it is. Pack it up, go home. We ain't giving you a 6
yeah,
and 7 game. And
yeah.
when LeBron came in the league and did that, remember it was 3-1 and he came back. That's when they started letting the whole 7 series play out.
But see, even before then, because I was watching some with Kevin Garnett, and he was sitting with Paul Pierce. They was doing a podcast. He was talking about how when he had to go up against Tim Duncans and Shaqs and goddamn uh Patrick Ewings and all them, when he had to go up against legitimate bigs, when he had to go get guys that played big, for him it was I got to figure out something else because they outweigh me so much. But I still got to be able to come down here and hold my own down low. He talked about how what got in the way of the Boston Celtics being able to go any further with the makeup that they had, with Paul Pierce being a 2-point specialist, a mid-range specialist, with him being a mid-range specialist, with Rajon Rondo not being a pure shooter. He was a mid-range guy. He was a driving to the basket and either kick it out or go up for a layup type point guard. The only real, true, legit arc behind the arc shooter was Ray Allen. Everybody else wasn't dependent on a 3-point shot. Everybody else was dependent on getting to their spot and getting a bucket or in the mid-game range. So he was like, the reason why that makeup for them couldn't go on any further, why they started having even a disconnect as players or with each other, is because the analytics got into the goddamn game with coaches. Coaches started looking at analytics and started started putting in place shit like game, like what they call it, that load management shit.
Management shit. Yeah, I love man.
He was
And they
like that.
started
He's like,
simulating them games, and then they whatever the analytics say
right.
from that simulation, because they started doing that in football too. It's taking down a lot of these sports, honestly, with all the analytics. Instead of just playing the game and let the game dictate, let the play dictate the game.
Yeah,
They
cause
letting
that
the analytics dictate the game.
like when the Celtic coach told his team the other night, man, we need 50 to 63s. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? 50 to 63s. Like, I feel like that's the main reason why they behind in the series because of the Knicks is playing back in the day ball. And the Celtics still thinking that 3-point shit gonna get you by if you making them, yeah. But if you ain't making 50, 63s a game, bro, you are not finna win a game.
Got a
It,
little breaking news from Southside 12. Appreciate you, Southside. He said the Falcons will play the Colts in Berlin on November 9th.
get ready for Lenny Craig now.
Breaking news. If you didn't hear about it already, now you know. The Atlanta Falcons on November 9th will play the Indianapolis Colts in Berlin.
And that'll probably be a good thing because we should have a bye after that game, which should be about week 10 and week 11.
Hopefully.
But I'm gonna be real though. I feel like Ant-Man bringing that physicality to their play out this series. I ain't gonna bullshit him.
That's why they can't handle the. That's why they can't handle him because he
Like,
playing with that old school
yeah,
physicality.
but I feel like they're gonna try to shut it down, bro, because of that ain't how LeBron want to play, bro. I feel like when he said, I don't know if it was a year ago or two, when he said the league is very too physical and he wanted to go soft, all these goddamn high scoring games started coming out the blue, bro.
Hell, I
Niggas
just watched something with LeBron saying that the league done got too soft.
But then I
I
seen
watched
the
somewhere they
interview.
said the league got soft. I think it was Gilbert Arenas. He said during his time of era of playing was when they start ushering in all them European and players from other countries to get that international deal. So they had, and he said a lot of them players from the other countries couldn't hang back in the day because we were physical. He said they were getting tore up down there in the paint.
It's why players like Tony Kukoc was revered. Because it was like this dude's supposed to have been playing in the NBA before, because his style was that of an NBA player. That's why he dominated in whatever country that was he was playing in.
Luka is the Tony Kukoc of this era.
Same thing with Vlade Divac. Like Vlade Divac was a damn head hunter down there in the paint. So,
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I don't know who y'all talking about. I ain't never heard down one of them.
you know who Tony Kukoc is, man, and Vlade Divac, man.
Nah,
Come
I'm
on.
young, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all get help. I don't know who that is.
Hey, Kukoc was a monster though.
Kukoc was that dude, man. He was
He
on that
signed for
Chicago
me though.
Bull
He
team.
signed for me though.
Yeah, he was with the Bulls in that second three-peat.
Boy, I
After
was born in
Jordan came
'96,
back.
Blackberry. I was born in '96, man. Boy, anything before that,
It's
boy,
all right.
man.
It's all right. That's why you got OG to help you along the way. OG like King Richard, Deshaun Caldwell, Jordan Test, but they all
You
OG
don't
niggas.
remember when Jordan said one of the only people he trusted on the team was Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, and Kukoc. Period. Everybody else, he wouldn't even pass him the ball.
Yeah. He gave the
Just
Steve
like
Kerr in the
prime
clip.
example, just like with Dennis Rodman, that style of play, you don't see none of that no more. That Dennis Rodman tough. And he'll come in the game wearing the whole dress, take that dress off, go in the
A wedding
game,
dress.
a wedding dress, go in the game, whoop up on you, put that wedding dress back on and leave. And ain't nobody gonna say nothing to him about
Ain't nobody gonna
being
say nothing to him about it. I mean, he got the whole gig up. He got on the makeup, he got on the dress, he got the tassel or whatever it's called. He got all that on.
No, we need to leave at 6:05. Yes, 6:05. Sister said they give us both time because I don't like walking down the hallway at
Oh,
6.
Jordan Test boy incriminate himself. We gonna mute him. We gonna mute him before he incriminate himself.
But that's one thing about that era. Like, did nobody question Rodman about was he gay and all of this? Cause he gonna go in that paint and put a whooping on you.
It's crazy.
And if you
Just
say
asked my
something
uncle
about it,
that the other day, bro. I just asked my uncle that about Dylan Rodman, bro. Like, how did they play against a dude that did all the shit he did to get in your head, bro? Like, that shit wasn't what it is.
and then he'll get on the court and tell you, oh yeah, you got a fat behind, just to get in your mental. Players were saying that, yeah, Dennis Rodman to say some crazy shit to you, throw you off your whole game. Oh yeah, Dennis Rodman was one of them ones. He take that wedding dress off and get on that court. Boy, you better be ready to play.
Hey, how y'all feel about the Maverick got the #1 pick, bro?
Man, they were gonna get that to him when they gave up Luka because the whole fan base was angry at him. They ready to fire everybody.
But I heard the Mavericks finna use that to get LeBron now again with Kyrie and AP.
Nah, I doubt that. I doubt he gonna leave Luka.
I'm gonna tell y'all something. When I'm looking at what the state of the NBA is, I gotta go dark because I don't want to incriminate myself. I'm gonna get Jay Holland back in here. Everybody mute yourself when you we got a lot of background. But let me tell y'all something about the state of the NBA. I'm not that old. I'll be 38 this year. But the very first sport I started watching was baseball. I was a big Ken Griffey Jr. fan. And I love baseball all the way up until I played baseball when I was a kid. When I was probably about 8 years old. Mom and dad put me in Little League. And I played for the Gresham. Was it Gresham? I think Gresham was the Blue Jays back then because I was a Blue Jay. I think that was Gresham Park. When you're 8 years old, you don't remember the park. You just remember the team. Well, in my case, at least.
It was Gresham because I played for Midway.
Boom. There we go. You played for the Braves.
Yep.
Midway was the Braves. So I played for the Gresham Park Blue Jays. And I was a big Ken Griffey Jr. fan. One day, the coach for my Little League team surprises everybody with a night at the host game. Guess who we playing? The Chicago Bulls. And just like clockwork, Michael Jordan is there. And he just like he do, he play every goddamn game. And he's playing, and I'm watching him at 8 years old, and I'm thinking to myself the word wow. At 8 years old. Barely done watched the damn basketball game ever. But I damn sure was a baseball fan, and I was a big Ken Griffey Jr. fan. First person came to mind when I was watching Michael Jordan was, damn, he liked the Ken Griffey Jr. fucking basketball. It made me think about now when I was watching these videos earlier when they was talking about how soft to lead that guy. It made me think about how as a kid, all it took for you to turn on a basketball game, for you to get into the basketball game itself, was to see how hard they went, was to see how impressive everybody was back then. Your impression came from not just them shooting the ball, but it came from how they get how determined they were to get to the basket to get a score or to dunk on somebody. How determined they were to stop somebody from scoring. It
So you
motivated
came in
you.
that
It
Dominique
inspired you.
Wilkins era, Blakberry.
Yo, right in at that time. Yep. That's when I came in it. Right in at that time.
Cause Dominique Wilkins for the Hawks was a beast. Hawks ain't been the same since he left, honestly.
Nah, they ain't. Hold on, I gotta mute myself. I'm gonna bring somebody in, somebody waiting to get in. Y'all go ahead. Who got something on it? I gotta get it. I gotta get the drill started.
Yeah, but I think basketball just done got soft. I don't even watch basketball no more, honestly. I can't stand it. And whoever made that comment was actually right. There's no villain in today's game. Trae Young really about the only villain that people just can't stand out there.
So let me ask you that question. Let me ask you the question then with that in regard to Trae Young being that villain that the NBA need to be playing in the postseason. Do you think he can be that villain with the Hawks? And we see the
Hey, I'm gonna
market
catch y'all, boys, man. I'm
increase.
finna head back to work, man.
All right, Joe, but you take it easy now. Oh, you take it easy. Oh, that was Larry. That was Larry. That wasn't Joe Test, boy. But do you think he can be that villain on the Hawks? And the Hawks get better. And the Hawks possibly contend for a championship. And we see the NBA become fun again. Or do he need to go somewhere else like Boston or somewhere like the Lakers, or the Pistons, teams that's known for winning back in the day.
You know what? You know why I respect Trae Young so much? Because he don't want to go there. He want to win here. And I truly believe that he wants to be the villain of Atlanta. Because, every player don't want to go to a super team. Some want to build with the team. And I think that's what Trae Young is, one that want to build. Because you got to, like we said the other day, I forgot who podcast, it may have been your Trae Young ain't about 26, and for him to be the vet on the team is crazy.
Yo, he's still young, man.
But if Jalen hadn't got hurt, I think we'd be in a better position because he hasn't had somebody like a John Collins next to him since they traded John Collins. DeJounte Murray is the same type of player as Trae Young, so I just knew that wasn't going to work. But
Well,
I think he can do it. I ain't gonna say I think he can do it here. I think he wants to do it here. That's the difference.
yeah, I think that's the difference. And that's what I think a lot of fans miss when they start talking about, Trae, he want to go somewhere. He want to go to LA because he bought a house in California, or he want to go to play for Golden State. He want to go play for Sacramento. Right? Listen. Listen. If you listen to Trae Young, nothing that he sells has ever gave you the impression that he want to go chase a ring with somebody else right now. Not saying that tune won't change, but I haven't heard him talk in that manner. Well, I'm gonna go chase me a ring somewhere. I just
Did you
need to get
see his
out of Atlanta.
Instagram post, Blakberry?
Yeah, I see his Instagram posts all the time.
When he said, "I'm where my feet at, y'all can quit asking me."
Exactly. Come on now.
That's actually what told me right there. Yeah, he don't want to go be a part of a already proven dynasty. It might be he's such a competitor. I think it's something he want to prove to himself right now. Not
and
like
to
you
everybody
said,
else
not saying
too.
the tune won't change 5 years from now or 2 or
Right.
3 years from now. But right now, he wants to be. You got to look at it. This why I really think the Hawks fired who they fired, because I'm gonna be honest, regardless of what people say, the Falcons influence a lot of stuff, not just in football. You gotta look within the last 2 years. You can say what you want about Raheem, and I understand because coaching is a big thing. But look how they changed this. We, like you said, Blake, you said the key word dynasty. And over the last 2 years, because our offense already set. Over the last 2 years, you can tell the way we draft, the way we play. And one thing Bijan to me is like the Trae Young of the team. One thing Bijan said when he ran in that tunnel, After that Carolina game, he said, man, we so close and y'all don't even realize it yet. Then what AJ Terrell said, I'm so happy that the whole organization is on the same page this season. That let me know that, and then right after we draft, what the Hawks do? Fire everybody.
Yep.
Because they
Clean
seen
house.
how,
Almost
because
clean
they
house.
seen how, and think about it, Blackberry, think about how ecstatic our fan base was when we actually drafted good. You think the Hawks ain't see that?
Yeah. Yeah. The wrestlers by no means deserve anybody's respect, for one. They don't deserve anybody's optimism, for two. But for three, you do got to expect them to want to maximize their profits, because at the end of the day, they billionaires. Tony Wrestler and his boy Nick Wrestler are billionaires. So that's why when the discussion of somebody, this might have been some weeks ago. I was on this was months ago. Actually, it was a couple months ago. I was on a live with We Talk Hawks TV.
Oh yeah, I seen that. Yeah.
And I asked the question. I say, do you think that the Hawks go to, they get in they end the season meeting and they put everything up on the board. They put personnel, infrastructure, staff, bottom lines. You think they put all that stuff on the board and think to themselves, okay, next season, all we got to do is just make the playoffs? And a lot of people was, Blackberry,
I'm gonna be honest,
that's what they
Blackberry.
do. That's
I
what
don't
they
think
say.
they do that. You know when I
I don't think so.
I'm gonna tell you when I think they did start doing that, after the Atlanta Falcons draft. I keep telling people the Atlanta Falcons affect leagues more than people understand. Why you think teams always come snatch our players so quick? For us, for Atlanta Falcons and the Atlanta Hawks and the Atlanta Braves to be so sorry, like the media say, who came and got Freddie Freeman from us and
The
outbid us?
Dodgers, our out of division rivals came and got our best player.
Who we traded with the Hawks? Pieces that actually was started to do good after their injuries. They came and got them and gave us a bunch of ass picks. We didn't even get good picks from them. And then they went, that's like DeAndre Hunt. He went to the team and started shining. So that lets you know it wasn't him. Then with the Falcons, they stay getting our players.
Another out of division rival. The
So
Cleveland Cavaliers. Yep.
After this draft, I never see. That's why I said I stopped watching the Hawks, because you can tell preparation. I don't care what level of sports, business, even at your job, you can tell preparation when you see preparation. The Hawks haven't prepared for shit ever since Coach Bud left. Let's just keep it real. But after they seen how the Falcon fan base was ecstatic, how the media praised us, not everybody, but it's half and half. But the 50% of the media that praised us for our draft, the Hawks ain't never had that kind of praise except for with Trae Young. And then when we got Trae Young, they still were bitching about we gave up Luka. I think they finally sat down at that table, like you said, and put up that board and really start doing an analysis.
And really start doing a proper analysis and said that we can't just make the playoffs. We got to try to be competing for a championship. How are we going to be able to do that? That's how, because it's about maximizing profits. So if the NBA knows, if they know that we maximize profits by having as many 7-game series as we can get, having as many commercial breaks as we can get, and having as many sponsors highlighted during finals in a 7-game series that goes at least 6, It got, but you maximize the profits with a game 7. If the NBA looking at that as a franchise, you have to be looking at, well, how do we maximize our profits? It can't just be being comfortable with making the playoffs and being a first round exit. We got
And
to
you
be
know what made it
contenders.
worse, Blakberry? What you saying? You know what made that worse? The Braves won some, right?
Yep.
The Braves won some. You say what
Yep.
you want about them Falcons, but after this draft here, you see that the Falcons are dead set and serious. Then guess who came to the Hawks game even when they lost? Michael Penix, which is the head quarterback. You have really no excuse not to be top tier anymore. You have, see, when everybody was losing, it was fine.
You can't be the only loser in the group.
And now you got the Uniteds retooling.
Hey,
Every
Darius, if you're
team in
trying to
Atlanta
come
has,
in, Darius, you might have to go out, come back in, and get you a better connection.
and then
Go
guess
ahead,
who else won to put the insult the injury? Guess who else won? The Georgia Bulldogs got 2 championships. So you can't
back to
have
back.
every Georgia team. Hell,
Atlanta
even the
United
Atlanta
too.
Dream.
Dream done been to a championship in the last decade.
But then think about it. What I'm finna say is even the Atlanta Dreams have retooled, and when they got Brittany Griner, and they've been winning since they got her.
Yep.
So you can't be the only team that mismanages everything. Don't retool. Don't do it. You can tell preparation. They're the
We know
only
Brittany
team that
Griner
does
fit
not
right in
prepare.
Atlanta. Just saying.
Everybody's trying to come up out of that stench. Every Atlanta team is trying to come. See, Atlanta's trying to get bigger in the media world. That's why a lot of people be mad. We always in the news. I sort of do be mad, and I sort of don't, because I understand marketing and branding. Even all promotion is good promotion, even the bad promotion.
Yeah. Anything that gonna get your name mentioned is good publicity.
Because ever since we lost that Ted Turner or whatever you know who I'm talking about, TBS. I don't know.
That Ted Turner.
Yeah, ever since we lost that, because you remember all the basketball games used to come on his network.
Yeah.
So we're not really people. Atlanta's trying to the whole Georgia sports establishment is trying to become a P1 market. I see what they did, because the same way in music, Atlanta didn't used to be. I do music. Atlanta was not a P1 market in music. It was like Chicago, California, New York. Atlanta has just became the P1 market in music. So if the music is in a P1 market, guess who want to be in the P1 market now? The sport.
But you know something, all that ties into ticket sales. All that ties into ticket sales. And that's something that Gilbert Arenas was talking about on his podcast. Is it used to be you could see your local team for free. You didn't used to have to pay to see your local
team. You didn't.
You can see them for free on TV. Now, of course, you had to pay to go to games, but what happened to cracking the Jack Box tickets? What happened to turn in a Coca-Cola can and you could go to a Hawks game or a Falcon game?
Hey, that's how we used to go to our Blakberry. I ain't mean to cut y'all, but do you know that's how we used to go? Do you know that's how we used to go to them games? My mama used to collect Coke cans, or she used to collect or buy the whole 12-pack and get a little ticket in the inside of the cardboard.
Get a little ticket, yeah.
That's how we used to get Hawks tickets, Braid tickets, Falcon tickets, Whitewater tickets, Six Flags tickets. But now you got all these streaming platforms. Like, it pissed me off one night. We were playing whatever night that was during the week we were playing. I had to go on, even though it was on primetime TV. Some of them games that you really want to watch, you have to go get Peacock. You have to have that YouTube Unlimited, and you got to have Prime.
Yeah.
Hello? You?
What's up with you, Darius? What's going on?
No, I just listen to y'all, man. I just had to hop on for a little bit. I just got to give a shout out to Atlanta Dream, man, because Atlanta Hawk can learn from them.
Shout out to Dream, man. And you want to know what crazy, Darius, is my grandmother 99 years old in Connecticut, in Hartford, Connecticut right now, East Hartford. She's a big UConn Huskies fan. That's why I'm a Huskies fan, because my grandma a Huskies fan. My grandma couldn't stand Brittany Griner when Brittany Griner was in college. She used to say,
Oh yeah.
now why they keep letting that man play with them guys?
Yeah, she do look like one though. I ain't gonna lie. I did say it to myself.
Hey,
And
she
it just,
sound like one too, because I heard her voice
Her
the
yeah.
boy
other
deeper
day
than
from
mine.
time to time.
And it's just crazy how the one player that my grandma couldn't, she hated, because them Huskies couldn't never play good when they played them, was Brittany Griner. And she in the Atlanta Dream. It's just very ironic that she is now in the Atlanta Dream.
You know
Atlanta
what?
What
Dream
you
might
got
get a
on it,
championship
Derek?
with the
Hey, and you know the
Yeah,
fact
they
that you
just
say
bite.
that Blackberry ties into why we've been having so many posts about Giannis coming to Atlanta. Because
Oh,
I think like you said, see, I think it's like me and you saying, you cannot be the sorriest organization out of all the Atlanta teams, because every Atlanta
no.
team has retooled. Kirby done when he got the number one quarterback out of high school, plus got the another 4-star safety and another 5-star. We got more receivers in Georgia than I've ever seen in Georgia.
Oh yeah, and you know what's funny? I want to say this. The Atlanta Falcons had a problem with their defense. Georgia Bulldog had a problem with the offense. Both of the team had fixed their problem, for what I'm seeing.
Then think about
Georgia
it.
Bulldog got that.
Oh,
Go
I was
ahead.
just gonna say the Braves starting to trying to fix their problems now.
You know what's funny? I think the Braves gonna get hot at the right time.
Yeah, but then I'm just speaking just Atlanta sports. Then think about it. Atlanta United just retooled with about 2-3 players.
Oh yeah. Hey man, I think if Atlanta go ahead, we'll be like the championship team in the state. Almost the Hawk do what they supposed to do, but I ain't no Hawk fan
But
really,
see,
cause they,
but you know why you not a Hawks fan? The same reason I'm not a Hawks fan, because we've been know they need a center and a big since 1998, and they never went and got one. So,
hey
but you can
man,
say what
I
you
mean,
want. You know
I
what?
gotta represent home team, but that one home team I cannot. It like the Hawk piss me off. It like their owner suck. I'm like, man, y'all can say I told people y'all can say what you want to say about Arthur Blank, but at least Arthur Blank did spend some money trying to develop a
Oh,
winning
don't get me
team. You know,
started on Tony Wrestler. Soft, Solomon Tisha ass. Don't get me started on him and his punk ass boy. I tell you, anytime I'm on We Talk House TV, because see, on We Talk House TV, let me tell you, over there on We Talk House TV, shout out to Demond and the rest of the crew over
yeah, I
there
be
on We
watching
Talk
him.
House TV, man. The one thing all of them are that they highly intellectual basketball minds that be on that panel. And I shout it and I give them their credit every time, because they know way more about basketball than I do. I'm just a fan of basketball, but they get in and out, the in and outs of basketball and how it's supposed to work and all that good shit. But they all refuse to continue to recognize that as long as Nick Wrestler punk ass is still tied to this organization, which he's supposed to not be. They're supposed to be sending his little punk ass out somewhere else, the mentor
Hey, he the
somewhere
Rich
else.
McKay. He the Rich McKay of the organization.
They supposed to be sending his little punk ass somewhere else to mentor under somebody else to be a general manager one day. So hopefully now with these new advisors who did, let's make this clear, they advised for management to not clean house, but to start shaking shit up and get rid of Landry Fields or puppeteer ass. Now you ain't a puppeteer, he's a puppet.
I don't think
And
Landry Field
send
was a
Because
good
have
general
you
manager.
noticed that Trey ain't really been happy the last 2 years for real?
hell, now I ain't
I
really
don't blame
happy
him.
because
I don't blame him though.
even though he been some of the influence for some of the bullshit, even though he did have a part to play in it, he realized soon thereafter that was a mistake. The DeJounte Murray trade was a mistake. We should have been
Because
more
if you gonna do
behind
that,
John Collins.
you should
Yeah,
have just kept. I'm gonna be honest. You should have just kept John Collins, because that was Trey running mate. Trey might be mad
but the
about that.
problem was now see, and I got my hand up for that because I was hard on John Collins. Your boy Blakberry was hard on. I said, get rid of that soft ass motherfucker. He playing like a soft ass bitch. I said that shit loud as I could every chance I got. Get his soft ass up out of here. But and I can admit, I think I was wrong for that. Because after the fact, when I see the grass ain't green on the other side of the wrestler's house, or the Tony Wrestler estate, the grass ain't greener on the other side of that fucking estate. Now that I see that, and I see that shit, all this shit was all just done wrong. You should still have Travis Sling as general manager.
It was the organization. That's what's crazy.
It's the front office.
That's the part that hurt you the most as a fan. That's the part that really hurt you the most, is that as a collective, it was a fuck up.
And you know what that showed me, Blakberry? That showed me that Coach Bud didn't have the control I thought he had.
But at least he won one with the Bucks.
I'm just saying, when he wanted, see, when you dealing in upper management and you just say you just a supervisor, but you dealing with upper management, it's hard when you trying to tell upper, just say like you at your job, you've been doing your job 15 years, but then upper management only been here 3, and they're trying to get you to change what you do, but it's less efficient. It's not as efficient as what y'all was doing. Just say y'all was sending out 40 trucks a day. Now y'all down to 22 trucks because the way they have y'all doing the process is not as efficient. I don't think that they gave a fuck about the process. That's what made me stop watching it, because like I said, you can tell preparation. And mad as you want to be at Raheem with the Falcons for last season, right? One thing, the reason why every fan is so mad is because he did what? It exceeded expectations through preparation.
But you know what's crazy?
The problem, Kirk being hurt. Well, you see what I'm saying? Like, the preparation was there.
Yeah.
Until Kirk got hurt.
During that Saint game.
That's something that need to be recognized. I feel you on that.
Because preparation is a part of elevation. That's why I understood we weren't going to see Penix in 2027. They probably weren't even giving them the playbook or nothing. Just run the scout team for this year, and then we going to leak you in. Since Kirk going to be good for about at least, see, they were planning for Kirk to be here at least 3 years. That's what they told me. They wasn't even finna groom Penix last year. That's why Raheem was scared, because they hadn't been grooming him. They just been letting him run the scout team. That's what Penix said to himself. I ain't never threw to nobody unless it may have been after practice, playing around just to throw the ball around. But through a scheme, he hasn't played with none of them. And
how long Patrick Mahomes learned under Alex Smith?
Game. That's why I wasn't when everybody was like, "Oh, Penix beat up on." They were like, "Penix beat up."
I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna say that's when the media were like, "Oh, Penix beat up on New York, which was a sorry defense." That's what he was supposed to do. How many times we done had Ritter and Taylor Heineke and Mariota in there in the games that everybody know we supposed to win and we couldn't even win. Everybody remember that one year, everybody was hurt. On one team we played, everybody who was somebody on that team was hurt, and we still lost.
But Patrick Mahomes played behind. He sat behind Alex Smith for, I want to say, like 14 games. Was it 14 or 15 games?
It may have been. Nah, it was 14. It was 14. Because remember, he got hurt. That's the only reason that he played him. He wasn't even planning on playing Patrick Mahomes for 3 years.
Right.
Tom Brady sat behind Bledsoe for what? 2 seasons?
He played it. That was his rookie year. Bledsoe got hurt.
The reason why I say that, I was telling somebody the Falcons doing what Kansas City did. When they first hired Andy Reid, I said, okay, they're gonna build a dynasty with Andy Reid when he first got hired with Kansas City, because they could never get over the hump. He later on, I know he had a quarter. I forgot that quarterback before he got Alex Smith. They went to the playoffs the first time. Then they lost this. They ain't qualified the second year he went. He with Kansas City, but they kept growing. I told somebody that growing pain. But then later on, he finally got over his hump. He got the quarterback. They were under Patrick Mahomes after he learned after Alex Smith. Cause he came for the 49ers, right? Alex Smith came for the 49ers.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So when he got Alex Smith, he couldn't get over that hump. And like I think I said, 14 game. But when Patrick Mahomes started doing his thing, they've been going to the AFC Championship, to the Super Bowl ever since.
And remember when Patrick Mahomes stepped in for Alex Smith, it wasn't pretty neither. Them wasn't pretty wins like how he went in now. Them were ugly.
Yeah, it wasn't.
He was a rookie. You could see the rookie, but he was just a step ahead of regular rookies. That's what I'll say.
I think the second year, I'm gonna make sure I got it right. I know the first year he was a rookie, but I think that second year, that when he went to the AFC Championship, that when he lost to Tom Brady, because that when Tom Brady came to Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because they were one step ahead for a Super Bowl, but they lost to Tom Brady.
That's what made my outlook on Penix different, because everybody's saying, "Oh well, he did the same thing Ritter did, and he got Ritter-esque."
Nah.
Bro, come on with that, man.
Nah, he put him out on Patrick Mahomes situation.
You gotta look at that. My thing is, and I said that too. I'm glad you that word situation, because when people say, "Are we a player away? Are we a one player away?" I be like, listen, man, ain't no team in the history of sports been one player away from doing shit. It's still, because you can let's say for instance we I don't know who a team that kept getting close every goddamn year. The Philadelphia Eagles. Let's say we the Philadelphia Eagles on Duncan McNabb and Andy Reid. Made it to the NFC Championship game, 4 straight years? Hello?
Yeah.
Let's say we the Philadelphia Eagles with Duncan McNabb and Andy Reid. What one player were they away?
None.
None. You get to the NFC Championship. You getting yourself an opportunity every year for 4 straight years to win. You just coming up short. You ain't short no player. You definitely good enough to get over the hump. You just not getting over the hump. Same thing with the Buffalo Bills back in the day. Kept making it to the Super Bowl. Wouldn't win it though.
And then, truth be told, if you really want to talk about it, people can say what they want about Josh Allen, but Buffalo wasn't really relevant before Josh Allen like that.
Hell no.
Yeah.
Who, Mario Williams being the biggest acquisition they had up until Josh Allen?
And see, that's what I'm saying about the Hawks. You cannot keep sitting back. You just watch the Falcons draft. Regardless of what you want to say, you could tell we building the dynasty with the Falcons. Kirby got Georgia going crazy. The Atlanta Dream said, you know what? I'm tired of losing. Let's go get Brittany Griner.
We trying to win.
That's why they got a good draft too. They did a good draft with that girl from South Carolina.
Yeah, but then you got to think too. The soccer team went and picked up 3 offshore players from international players for the team. So everybody rebuilding, but who? The Hawks.
The Hawks. And check this out. When somebody asked you, I was watching a show. I think that was the 6-Man K-Style show. The whole Giannis thing coming to Atlanta was a topic, and K-Style said, "Hell no." I'm like, what in the fuck is wrong with people, man? That's just like the some bitch on We Talk Hawks TV Thompson. The KD, I don't want no goddamn KD. You don't want 27 points a night?
It's even deeper than that, Blakberry. You
don't want a clutch guy? You don't want one of the best shooters to play the game?
Hey, Blakberry, it's even deeper than that. You get 27 points a night, the best shooter in the game, plus guess what's going to go crazy? The media.
I don't give a fuck. Let the media go crazy.
No, I mean like in a good way, though. I mean,
the good way.
All that shit playing with KD. Oh, the Hawks got KD with Trae Young. Oh, they may be, that's all off-season talk. Regardless of how you look at it, when you running the business, you want your name spoken in the off-season. You want
and Trae Young took a picture with Kevin Durant.
To me, KD always been like a mentor to him, so to speak, outside of Kobe. He was always like a mentor to him. But the thing is, the thing is for me, when somebody dismisses going and getting a superstar talent to play along with Trae Young that plays the forward or center position, I don't know how the fuck you could be against that when we know that if like somebody had up there, or who was that? Millie Mills said, send Trae Young down to Orlando, we can use him because he know in Orlando you got a goddamn Ben Carroll who is perfect for fucking Trae Young because he a dominant presence down low. He a slasher to the basket and he can stretch the floor for you. He can do all of that. That's what JJ do for the most part, but JJ more of a slasher. If you give Trae Young a healthy JJ and somebody like Patio Banchero or somebody like Giannis Antetokounmpo to go along with Trae Young and Jalen Johnson, and then you got the defensive prowess of that other young or the what's his name?
And you know what? You know how I know you right, Blackberry?
Like what we talking about, man?
Because the one Hawks game I watched that had our play-in or playoff implications, guess who had to go back and be the Lone Star again? Trae Young. I went and looked
Trae
at
Young.
Nobody scored over 15 points but him.
So Trae Young mostly like our Dominique Wilson all over again.
Now he is. Because
you know
the difference with Dominique had teammates around him.
Oh yeah.
Spud Webb. What's that other tall guy we had? And then we had a white boy that could shoot. Shot nothing but threes.
But Dominique was a forward. See, the thing of Trae is dynamic as he is. He still is going to be 6 feet or buck 45, buck 55. That is as dynamic as he is, as awesome a playmaker he is, that's gonna always be him. And it's always gonna be a disadvantage in his league. Now we gotta give him credit for what he do with it, because he's still to be one of the best passers to ever goddamn play the game, one of the best playmakers to ever play the game. That's special at his stature. So we got to give him that credit.
LeBron wanted Trae? LeBron even know if he get Trae on the team, he know what it is.
Bro, everybody wants a Trae Young running their offense. Listen to what I say.
Yeah.
Running their offense. Everybody want a Trae Young running their offense because Trae Young got a special mind for the game. He got some of the best passing ability you done seen since John Stockton, since Steve Nash.
And he
got some of the best passing ability, and he don't. And see, for all the people that say, well, he need to hit bigger shot, need to be a bigger shot maker. He need to take better shots. He has to take the shots he's taking because he making up for the deficiencies of the rest of the damn team. What's up with you?
Hey, cause Blackberry, did you notice that? Well, I don't know. Blackberry might be handling bit, but did you notice when Jalen was in the game that he could calm down? Trae could calm down a little bit before Jalen got hurt. Trae, all he had to do was run the offense. He didn't really have to be the head guy. He could sit back and be the head guy, the guy behind us. Put it like this: by the time you done playing Jalen and the rest of them, you done forgot about Trae Young. And that's when he come out hot. But when he got to be the lead guy, he can't come out hot. Because
he's similar like Isaiah Thompson, right?
Yeah, he's the only day. Because what people forget, for me, I always relate Trae to like Brent Grimes. Brent Grimes wasn't the tallest cornerback. He wasn't the strongest, but he had ups.
He played big.
He played big. Trae plays big, but you still can't excuse the size. You have to put size around him. It's always gonna be a deficiency. You got to. And right now, you got some. You cooking with something right now with Jalen Johnson and what's the damn boy name they got from what the damn boy name is? Nice year or something like that.
Dyson Daniels.
Daniels. Dyson Daniels. You got Jalen Johnson, you got Dyson Daniels, you got a pretty damn good bench to be able to work with.
And that rookie Reicher or whatever his name is. He comes
You got Zachary Ricochet. who done showed you flashes of being a star. The boy can shoot and he can slash it to the basket, and he gonna be able to shoot over everybody because he got like a 7'5" wingspan or something, or 7'7" wingspan or something like that. So you got pieces here. You get you a bona fide number a bona fide number two, not number two, but a bona fide backup point guard. Somebody that can come in, manage the game, give you a bucket when you need a bucket, but can mostly manage the game. You get a guy to come in behind Trey like that, and you get a guy like Giannis, who all you telling Giannis to do is, hey, what you was missing the past handful of years in Milwaukee, we got you over here with Trae Young. You didn't have a real playmaker. You didn't have a legitimate playmaker like Trae Young in Milwaukee. You thought you
Nah,
did,
he had to depend on what
but you didn't.
Holiday and
Yeah, Drew Holiday. And Drew Holiday just got to the point in his career where he better off coming off the bench than he is starting. He gonna do better. He gonna play more dividends coming off the bench. But you need somebody that's gonna start. That's gonna be that playmaker. You get Giannis to Atlanta with a Jalen. If you can keep Jalen Johnson and Dyson Daniels along with Trae Young, you can make up for everything. And Zachary Richard say, I'm gonna say you got to keep him too. You can make up for everything else.
So you think they're gonna get Gunners?
man, the Hawks problem is
they
the
gonna
Hawks
try
don't
to.
like spending money. That's their real issue.
But they're gonna have to. Look at the Knicks. The Knicks being about to beat Boston.
Nah, but see, I'm gonna tell you why they have to, because it's just like me and Blakberry was saying. This the first year you could tell they put some preparation in going into the off season.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, Knicks look good though. I ain't gonna show.
Nah,
And
but I'm
Indiana.
just saying it just to say, like, they ain't gave a damn because every Atlanta team was sorry at the time. All of us. But then once Atlanta United won, then you had Georgia win 2 championships, then you had the Braves win the World Series, and now you got the Atlanta Dreams down there clinch the championship almost. And then
Oh yeah, Atlanta United too won. They won a championship. I remember.
So now and then you got everybody in Georgia making moves, but who? The Hawks.
They gonna have to get Gunners, man. That's the only way I can see them. I can take them
They can
serious.
go get KD. Am I right?
Hey,
They can really can they afford Gunners and KD?
But hey, man, we got a few more seconds left. We're gonna cut this off before the 2-hour mark, man. Hey, I want to appreciate everybody that came through. King, Richie, Darius, appreciate you coming through, man. Appreciate you coming through. Come through more often, man. We love to talk that cab on the shit right here, man.
Oh, yeah. I'll be listening to y'all, man. Y'all be hearing me laughing.
So
but
we appreciate everybody that came through, enjoying the panel. I see Georgia Texas boy waiting in the back, but we gotta close this thing out. And y'all make sure y'all tune in same time. Well, probably not the same time, but just keep an eye out for us in the morning. Catch us on the flip side. On team.